Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to call this regular meeting of the board to order at 5 p.m. May we have roll call, please?
Trustee Chin Lau, Trustee Aragon, Trustee Gibson,
Here.
Trustee Silver,
Here.
Trustee Kwong,
Here.
Trustee Liu, Trustee Wong,
Here.
Student Trustee Derek Shawnee.
Okay. We don't have any public comments on closed session agenda items, so at this time, the board is going to recess to closed session for C1 Government Code 54956.9 D2 Conference with Legal Counsel, C2 Government Code 54956.8 Conference with Real Property Negotiator, C3 Government Code 54957.6 Conference with Labor Negotiators, and C4 Government Code 54957. We'll return in an hour. I jumbled at the end. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Good evening. I'm going to reconvene the regular meeting of the board today at 6:11 p.m. Thank you all for being here today. Report of action in closed session. In closed session, the board voted unanimously in favor to approve a settlement agreement involving the Armin Sarafian building as discussed under closed session agenda item C1. And that is all to report out from closed session. And now for roll call, please.
Trustee Chen Lao. Trustee Aragon.
Present.
Trustee Gibson.
Here.
Trustee Silver.
Here.
Trustee Kwong.
Here.
Trustee Liu. Trustee Wong.
Here.
Student Trustee Derek Shawnee.
Here.
Thank you. I'll read out that acknowledgement today. Pasadena City College is a learning community within the indigenous homelands of the people who have been known as the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians of the Xishikwanga Village and Quiche Nation. Tonight, we acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this land on which we gather. We also honor the legacy of the African diaspora and recognize that the United States as we know it was built at the often fatal expense of forcefully enslaved Black people. We are indebted to their labor and the labor of many Black and brown bodies that continue to work in the shadows for our collective benefit. PCC and its faculty, staff, and students recognize that we are all simultaneously teachers, learners, and guests on these lands. This acknowledgement is a small part of an ongoing process of working to raise awareness about the histories that are too often erased or forgotten, to recognize our place in this history, and to affirm our commitment to social justice, systemic change, and anti-racism. Thank you. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Silver, would you lead us in the pledge today? Is Perez? Okay. Next is the approval or reordering of agenda items. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any discussion about the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee? All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Okay. Next, do we have any introductions and recognitions today? I do not believe we do. We'll move on to public comment on non-agenda items. Okay. Colleagues, we do have a number of public comments today, which we are looking forward to hearing from our community on. Just a couple reminders for my colleagues that our board bylaws establishes 15 minutes for our non-agenda items. And so in order to accommodate as many comments as we can, after each 15-minute period, I'm going to ask someone for a motion to extend our public comment period. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to take on, hear more comments. So I will keep track of that time and make sure that we are extending that period. But because of the amount of comments, I wanted to see if any of my colleagues would be open to ensuring that we are able to get to all of the comments. And so instead of the usual 3 minutes, if we would be amenable to 2 minutes per speaker to make sure we can actually hear every single comment tonight.
I move to revise it to have 2 minutes per speaker.
Okay,
And
thank
I'll
you.
second.
Thank you, Trustee Kwong. That's seconded by Trustee Aragon. And so we will, in this case, in this process, be able to accommodate all of our speakers in this way, at the same time allowing us to continue the business of the body. Okay, so we have a motion and a second for that. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
Everyone else, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Okay, so for our folks who are going to provide comments today, what will happen is that that light that we normally use to track comments cannot be reprogrammed. And so your light today is even better than a light. We're going to have our incredible staff member, Audrey, be your guide for the amount of time you will have. So she will time the 2 minutes, and when you have 30 seconds left, you'll see her raise her hand. And then maybe at the end of 2 minutes, like a fist? I don't know what, like. Oh, thank you. That also works. If we make sure her mic's on, sometimes we turn it. Okay, perfect. So she will be your guide today instead of the buttons, instead of the lights over there by the podium. Okay? Awesome. Okay, thank you. And we will begin with our public comments on our non-agenda items. Our first public comment comes from Tatiana Hernandez. And your time will begin when you begin speaking. That's when we'll start the time.
Good evening, President Jose Gomez, Board of Trustee members, faculty, and all others who have joined tonight's meeting. My name is Tatiana Hernandez, a current freshman here at Pasadena City College and a first-year Equipo member. For those of you who may not know, Equipo is a student initiative founded in 2020 through the Title V grant, with the intention of reflecting the institution's commitment to empowering and fostering the representation and leadership of Latina students. Every year, 2 to 10 student leaders are paid collaborators who engage in shared governance, culturally relevant programming, and campus-wide collaborations. This includes serving on committees, working groups, and faculty collaborations to bring student perspectives into decision-making, leading events such as Mix the Mirror Pools and Platicas that center identity, community, and joy, as well as conducting student-led research, focus groups, and forums that shape institutional policy like equity plan research. Over the course of the last 6 school years, more than 40 students have been part of Equipo, and throughout their duration have broken barriers upon barriers, beautifully expressing the potential Latina students have when given the proper opportunities and resources despite being disadvantaged and facing systemic barriers. The program maintains an 89.3% retention and completion rate, significantly higher than the nation's Latina student average of 33%, and over 92.5% of Equipo student leaders have successfully transferred to top 4 universities such as UCLA, UC San Diego, and Cal State Long Beach. Beyond the numbers, Equipo fosters a sense of belonging that is transformative. Our focus groups explore how cultural affirmation and faculty encouragement impact motivation and persistence. These findings don't just help PCC, they contribute to the broader conversations in higher education about Latina student success, retention, and postgraduate pathways where communities remain underrepresented. Although my time with Equipo has been short, the success of former members has been nothing less than inspiring and gives me so much confidence in my academic future and the future of all Latina students. In a time where Latina voices, culture, and people are being criminalized for their existence, being silenced and targeted, it is critical that we do not hide and continue to uplift our community. Equipo demonstrates what happens when institutions don't only serve students, but partner with them.
Thank you. That's time.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Our next public comment will come from Kimberly Bautista.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly Silverio Bautista, an alumni from the Pasadena City College Trio Classic Upper Bound program. I'm here to express my disapproval of the program no longer being funded, and given a short time period to shut it down. Nobody deserves to be given a short notice shutting down a program dedicated to low-income and first-generation students. There isn't a safe space anymore for them to pursue a higher education. Think about it. How would you feel if your safe space was taken abruptly and feel like your future is uncertain? Terrible, right? Now, this is what the entire community is currently feeling, uncertain of what's next for them or what to do or how to help out the students, the community, but overall their families. Many of these families have had hope that the program will help them in applying to colleges, but overall pursuing a higher education for them and for generations to come. That's what my parents experienced, hopeful that the TRIO program would help me apply to colleges, improve my grades in high school, and have a network. Truth be told, that is what TRIO did. Because of their persistence in applying for colleges, especially applying for the Educational Opportunity Program at Cal State Northridge, I was able to obtain not only 1, but 2 bachelor's degrees in 5 years. And because of the positive influence I had in EOP, I got my master's in mass communications at Arizona State University. You see, this is what TRIO does. It influences and builds positive mindsets for students to do better for themselves, their families, and communities. This is why the program is important, because it changes lives like it did with me. Also, this is why it's important reinstating the program. And it's crucial because it will help out current seniors that are currently in high school right now to help them transition into colleges, especially after the incident of the Eden fires, which many people has lost their lives, their houses, but also personal items. We don't need another setback for these students.
Thank you. That's time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you. Our next public comment comes from Carrie Starbird.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carrie Starbird, and I'm the Dean of the Mathematics Division. Up until last week, I also served as the project director for the Title III grant that the college was awarded in September of 2021. For some background, Title III grants are awarded to Hispanic-serving institutions by the federal government's Department of Education, specifically to address the gaps in STEM student completion. PCC's grant entitled Servingness in STEM, Reaching the Next Level in HSI Excellence, was a 5-year, $5 million grant that allowed our institution to try innovative projects to support our students focused on transferring in a STEM major. However, the grant funding was discontinued with only 2 weeks until the start of our final year of implementing the project. The letter of discontinuance from the Department of Education indicated that our grant provides funding for programs that reflect the prior administration's priorities and policy preferences that conflict with those of the current administration. The letter goes on to explain the reason for discontinuance is because of specific parts of the grant application that address DEI-focused activities that conflict with the department's policy of, quote, prioritizing merit, fairness, and excellence in education. The irony is that these very parts of the grant application were included to give us priority in obtaining the grant in the first place. But I'm not here today to complain about the loss of funding that's out of our control, but rather to showcase the incredible work that we were able to do with the $4 million that we did receive for the past 4 years. One of the events that the grant allowed us to do was host a STEM gala, an evening where STEM students gathered to learn about resources available to them across campus, internship opportunities that could boost their resumes and transfer applications, and to mingle with industry partners like JPL. We also created a mini internship opportunity that allowed approximately 75 students to work with local business partners to address a problem that was pertinent to the local community.
Thank you. That's time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public comment comes from Renee Johansson and Christine Loritz. So sorry if I mispronounced any of that. My apologies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Lorich, and I am part of the team, along with Renee Johansson and Eddie Ham, that created the CAST, or Calculus Achievement for Success program, that was under the Servingness in STEM grant that Carrie Starbird just mentioned. The CAST program was created after studies of data showed declining rates of success in our Math 5A or Calculus 1 course, especially for our Latin A students. Calculus 1 is supposed to be a gateway to future STEM courses. Instead, it was becoming a gatekeeper. The CAST program was created to increase the probability of success for our students in our calculus sequence here at PCC by having students learn calculus through a learning community, which they get support from students, tutors, and their instructors. With the addition of supplemental instruction to these, students had the ability to review and reinforce both prerequisite and current concepts while learning to work with each other and building lasting friendships and communities. This is especially important in this time of implementation of AB 1705. One of the best things about teaching in this program is seeing your students succeed and seeing them feel like they have a place in STEM and that they belong. We've had a lot of students who have transferred out, and they have gone to such academic excellence, places like Berkeley, UC Irvine, and UC Riverside.
Some of the components that we were able to fund with the grant were supporting 30 to 40 tutors who worked embedded in our classrooms. They also worked in our CAS Center, which is solely for CAS students to focus on a calculus aspect. It really created a sense of belonging and community to work with other folks who might be struggling through the same topics. We also had opportunities for work-based learning, internships, transfer agreements, and also had CAS faculty work in a learning community as instructors trying to create better equitable practices together. Was sharing just a little bit of our data. From fall 2024, our Latin CAS students had a 63% success rate overall compared to non-CAS Latin students who had a 42% success rate. Our female students in CAS had a 71% success rate compared to 57% outside of CAS.
Thank you. That's time.
Thank you so much. Our next public comment is from Jose Ortiz.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jose Ortiz, and I am a student of this CAS program. I am back in school, hoping, and I will achieve, a PhD in computational neuroscience in an effort to research Alzheimer's disease. I cannot tell you how much it has meant that CAS has been made available to me. Having to come back to school to tackle a STEM program as lofty as that which I propose to do is intimidating at least. And to have this kind of backing has meant the world to me. The people behind it, the tutors, the teachers, the resources, the rooms, the times, they've all made it justifiable to when I get out of work, because I do work full-time, I work for the county, I'm a programmer, to leave work and go straight to class for 4 hours, knowing that I'm going to get the support, not just the days of the week that I go to school, but in between the days I don't have class, I'm still here just to get the tutoring, just to get the direction, to get the feedback, to get the support. That has actually been able to light that much more, that lofty goal, just shedding so much more just potential, making that what is an otherwise frightening thought of pursuing a PhD in this at this point in my life. I am a non-traditional student, as it were, making it that much more realistic, making it that much more tangible.
30 seconds.
Please consider in your conversations to keep the CAS program in mind and all the people that are putting an effort forward into making this happen. These people go well beyond what it is that they do. I cannot stress how much of them is poured into this and how much that has meant to someone such as myself and my future. Thank you.
Our next comment comes from Vivian and Dariana.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Vivian Zavala. I'm actually also a student, a part of the CAS program. I'm a returning student after 3 years, and this program has meant a lot to me. I'm barely a quarter into the program, and it has helped a lot. Like, I feel like within the first couple of months, like, we already have a family, I could say, like, that we study together, that we get together after hours together, like, but we have had that community built within the program. I think it's very different having classes separate as calculus. Like, this is everyone within calculus, not just from the 5A department, but also people that are in 5C that get to network together, and it helps everyone have that community and that confidence to continue in their studies, because, you know, there is a lot of doubt, there is a lot of, like, imposter syndrome, what they call it, of not fitting in or not knowing, like, where to go from, like, the next step, you know? So it definitely has benefited me a lot, and it has helped a lot of our students, like, how they said, not just the program, but the professors, all the time and effort that they have put into the program. Like, it shows like so much, like out of class, like how much they put into also feeding into our like success, into studying, into also making themselves accessible for whenever we also can, because I am also part-time student, part-time work as well. So it's whenever I can, I also make time to be able to come, and it's an accessible thing for all students that has been helping me a lot. I think I'm gonna give you some time.
Hi, my name is Dariana. I'm also a student in CAST, and I was just last week telling myself I'm so happy that I came back to school and this program was available, because I'm a first-generation student. I have no family background that would go into STEM, so it was crazy for me to even think that I'm going to be in it. But being in here and having that community has been so important. The tutors, I can ask them anything, they'll know. I look around the CAST Center and I can see somebody who's working on something that I need help in. I go and talk to them. The professors are always there
Thank
for
you.
us.
That's time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next public comment comes from Michael. If you know which Michael you are, your last name starts with an M. I'm sorry, I couldn't read. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Malik. I am a CAST tutor for the CAST program. I am not a student anymore as I've finished the program already, and I can say that this program has given me a new perspective on academia and how to approach being a STEM major nowadays. At least for myself, when approaching modern academia, I feel that most professors nowadays have a tendency to get caught in their own knowledge rather than making it readily available for students, as well as making it easy for them to understand the courses. STEM itself is very not approachable, and because of this, I think it turns a lot of people off from their potential and what they can do in the field. And I think CAST does a really good job at doing the exact opposite of that by bringing it down to a level where, at some level, even students are helping each other out, and the professors are very relatable and approachable, and I think this helps a lot. I've recently had trouble in other classes, whether it be physics or chemistry, and it's simply because the professors, again, have a tendency to cloud the information rather than making it easy for other students to learn and grow from it and add it to their repertoire of information. And because of that, I think CAST does a very good job at not only making it easier for students to join these very important fields, but also see themselves in these positions that I think are very important to fill right now, considering the state of the world and how STEM is going to approach these very uncomfortable and dangerous situations for the future. Thank you.
Okay, colleagues, that was 15 minutes. Can I have a motion to extend public comments for another 15 minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Silver. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
And one quick question. Would it maybe be possible to put a timer up there? Easier? If not, it's okay. It's okay.
There's not potentially.
Okay, we don't. We'll keep going with what we
Okay.
have been, but just in case we're able to.
Sure.
Maybe we could give them a 30-second.
A 30-second. Yeah, it might be just easier administratively. Okay, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
No, I was saying at
30-second warning. Just so folks know.
Do
you need help with that, or
No. Do you want to take a moment?
Yeah, let's just take one quick minute, and we'll.
Okay,
Let me
let's
just
do
come
that.
over. And we'll-
Yeah.
Okay, we figured it out. Thank you for your patience, everybody. This is just going to be a little easier for everybody to know how much time you have remaining for your public comment. Our next public comment, and now you're going to see a little timer show up, and then we will call you still when the time is over, but at least you have a sense of how much time you have left. Our next public comment comes from Nicholas Topaz.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, just real quickly, I missed the part. The timer, is it going to be displayed?
It's just displayed, yes.
Thank you very much.
Whenever you can.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk about the CAS and my experience in the CAS program. Prior to coming to school here as a mechanical engineering major, I had not been in school for 10 years, and I was really nervous about coming back to school. I didn't even know what calculus really was. I was also a student veteran, so I had left my community there, and coming to school, I really had no community. But entering the CAS program, that kind of changed a lot. I really look forward to coming into class and seeing my peers. It gave me a lot of confidence and changed the entire trajectory of my career. I really have a lot of confidence that I'll be successful as a STEM student and beyond. Whenever I came into the classroom, there was no judgment. Everyone was part of a team to a common goal, and I think that is, to enlarge the professors, they really created a strong community. I learned a lot of study skills, test-taking skills, how to be productive with a team and work together to a common goal, and we all wanted each other to be successful. I think that was one of the biggest things in the CAS program, is everyone was there for each other, and I have not seen that in any other community or any other class. And that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Our next comment is from Sherlyn Hakopian.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sherlyn Hakopian. I'm a neuroscience major. I'm a student and tutor in the CAS program. So CAS has gotten me through some of the toughest times, whether it be personal or with school, having difficulty in classes. To me, and I'm sure many others will agree, CAS has become more than just a math program to us students. It's family. The support in math and everything else is something that took me by surprise. This program has made me grow in such great ways. An example of that is I don't suffer in silence anymore. I used to be so scared of asking for help and so scared of being judged that I wouldn't know something, so I'd stay quiet even if I was stuck on a problem for a very long time. This program, the professors, students, and tutors pushed me to ask the questions I wanted and needed to ask, and to get up and work on the problems on the board. I never once felt judged. Instead, the support was so overwhelming, I completely forgot about being scared of saying, I don't understand this. Another example would be my confidence. I had absolutely none when I first joined. I thought every answer I got was most likely going to be wrong. But through 5A and especially 5B, I was really pushed to be confident in myself and my skills of being able to solve those problems. With the imposter syndrome epidemic running in STEM students, where we're all kind of not sure of ourselves, building confidence is crucial to our success. Not only that, but the resources of this program are also crucial to student success, one of them being the CAS Center. I was there religiously during 5A and even more so during 5B. It was my second home, and that was a huge contribution to my success, as I was able to get the help that I needed from peers, students, and even professors going in there to see if everything's going well. And I think it's overall, the benefits of CAS towards my success seems endless to me and towards other students as well. Thank you.
Our next public comment comes from Kuei Deng.
Good evening. My name is Kuei Deng. I'm the Executive Director of Student Equity and Success.
I'm Dr. Ashton Mejia. I'm the Associate Dean of Student Services for Non-Credit.
On behalf of HSI Alianza, we affirm the importance of our designation as a Hispanic serving institution and our unwavering dedication to the students and families we serve. HSI Alianza is a collective of administrators, faculty, staff, and students who embody PCC's commitment to embracing and empowering our Latinx community. We work to ensure that equity is not only an aspiration, but a daily practice that shapes how we teach, support, and celebrate our students. Nearly half of PCC students' identity as Hispanic or Latinx, many the first in their families to attend college. Our HSI designation is more than a federal label. It is a promise of opportunity and a commitment to justice. Serving this means more than enrollment. It means creating programs and practices that affirm our students' brilliance, resilience, and sense of belonging.
For more than 2 decades, HSI grants have funded pathways, faculty development, STEM and transfer initiatives, and first-generation student support. These efforts have built a stronger, more equitable campus for all, but today that progress is in jeopardy. Federal HSI funds have been cut, and this loss has real implications. Fewer resources for mentoring, fewer opportunities for leadership, and a threat to equity-driven foundation that we've built together. That's why tonight's resolution matters. By affirming support for our HSI and MSI communities, this board sends a clear message. PCC will not step back when funding is lost, it will step forward. We urge the campus to engage in strategic planning that strengthens servingness, aligns equity with budget priorities, and sustains the programs that make us who we are. As we move forward, we must remember that servingness cannot depend on external funding alone. True transformation means embedding equity into the fabric of the college, not as a project, but as a shared responsibility. Because an investment in Latinx students is an investment in our collective future, in leadership, in innovation, and excellence that define Pasadena City College. Thank you for your unwavering support.
Ashley, is this your comment in place of Desiree? Okay, if you have. Oh, you're good. Okay. Okay. In case you needed to finish your sentence because you have a full. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Our next public comment is from Francesca Chalonga. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Francesca Chaboya, and I'm an instructor of ethnic studies and history on campus, as well as the president of ALE, the Association of Latino Employees. Most importantly, I come to you tonight as a proud Chicana and a first-generation college student who admittedly struggled navigating through educational institutions as a student and as a faculty member, feeling like I didn't always quite belong within academic spaces. Having access to tools and programs and connecting with folks who shared their invaluable knowledge on how to navigate through these systems was instrumental to my success. But a major turning point for me was when my mentor encouraged me to embrace who I was and my identity. When I really reflected on that advice, I felt empowered and found myself evolving in these academic spaces. Because of these experiences, I recognize the importance and power that comes with being a designated Hispanic serving institution. I see this not only as a label, but a real commitment to serve our Latina community and to affirm our students' identities. To me, that means supporting programs and tools on campus that remind students they belong in academic spaces. To me, this means aligning with our campus mission as an equity-minded learning community with the vision to affirm students' identities and experiences. To me, this means consistently reflecting on what I can do to remain committed to serve our students and foster a community that ensures they feel like this is a space for them. I am here to affirm our stories, experiences, and our identities, and to declare that ALE remains committed to supporting HSI and MSI initiatives with intentionality. I also ask that the board continues to follow this commitment, and despite funding cuts, we ensure that these initiatives are not lost. We are eager to collaborate with our larger community to ensure we continue to support and evolve as an HSI and to support our MSI communities. I also just want to thank everyone who has also voiced their experiences and their commitment. I thank you for being here and showing up. It's really moving and inspiring, and I hope that this is an institutionalized commitment. Thank you.
Our next comment is from Teresa Wong. Begin whenever you can.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Teresa Wong. I hope you all are well today. I am a second year at PCC and the president of Environmental Sustainability Club. I attended last month's facility meeting and I was thoroughly excited with all of the developments that we are making in regards to decarbonization. That being said, I did hear that the decarbonization fund may or may not be sourced by the foundation, which brings us back to, once again, the issue of divestment. From what I understand, I realize that the PCC Foundation, and especially you all, have very limited say in all of this. But from what I do understand, there is precedence. So Cal State LA has experienced success in 2021 in divesting from fossil fuels, and according to Senate Bill 185, which required CalPERS and CalSTRS to divest from thermal coal, that actually resulted in a positive $585 million in a return to the CalPERS fund. So I don't believe that pure viability is the issue, but more so the lack of urgency. I do realize that the fires in January and also the slew of ice raids that have rocked our communities have jeopardized our communities and have also required our immediate attention. That being said, I do think that we should recognize that there's a lot of intersectionality at play. Historically, our most vulnerable communities have been affected by climate change. I just want to end off by saying that you may be wondering why I care so much about this. I am only 18 years old, and I don't even know if I'm going to live to have children or if I will even live to see that happen. But when my time comes, I can confidently say for sure that I will have done everything in my power to advocate not only for our generation, but for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next comment is from Tito. Tito, are you here? Oh, there you are. Sorry.
No worries. I was kind of hiding. Good evening, trustees, Dr. Gomez, and members of the PC community. I speak today not as an outside observer, but as someone who's been deeply invested in the college's HSI identity for over 20 years. I've had the privilege of serving as director for both Title V, Abriendo Caminos, and Title V, Career Pathways grants, two HSI programs that changed lives here at PCC. I've worked on HSI grants since 2001, long before this college was nationally recognized for that work. So this issue hits close to home. I understand the reality of funding cycles and federal timelines, but what's happening right now, the elimination of Upward Bound, Title V, and Title III programs, hurts. When the funding landscape shifts, it's on us as an institution to respond with creativity, not retreat. Other colleges facing the same cliff are tapping into reserve funds or foundation resources, as highlighted in today's EdSource article, to bridge these gaps while rebuilding capacity. PCC has those same tools. With foresight and courage, we could find ways to sustain these student-serving roles, even temporarily, until new funding cycles opened. These positions represent people who built bridges for first-generation students and students of color. When we talk about being an HSI, an Anapesia, an emerging BSI, these are the individuals who made that real, not through slogans or resolutions, but through late nights, outreach events, and student-centered relationships. That's why it's hard to hear the words unapologetic support for MSI communities in Resolution 873, when in the same meeting, we're voting to lay off the very staff who embody that mission. We can't claim to be unapologetically supportive of MSI communities while simultaneously dismantling their foundation. Your 25-26 board goals, especially goal 3 and 5 on campus culture and goal 4 on DEI, sound good on paper, but goals are only as credible as the decisions that follow. We cannot continue to claim equity as a value, then treat equity-driven programs as expendable when budgets get tight. So tonight I'm asking you, not as a critic, but as someone who loves this institution, to align the college's actions with its words, to honor the people doing the work that make PC proud to call itself an HSI. Thank you.
Our next comment is from Amy Dominguez.
Good evening, board members. My name is Amy Dominguez, a member of Equipo Student Advisory. I would kindly like to thank you all for allowing me to speak on behalf of students here at PCC. First and foremost, I recognize that I am a first-generation student, the first in my family to attend college. Being a first-generation student, I am given the responsibility of navigating higher education for the first time. I am not presented with the privilege of having someone who has experienced the system or being familiar with the resources available in order to pursue academia. It is a challenge that tests every ounce of my confidence and trust in myself. And in and of itself, I am capable of transforming my resilience into strength. One of my many successes is becoming a member of Equipo and continuously working with distinct and diverse groups. Through Equipo, the most valuable connection I've made is the First Year Experience Pathway Center. I utilize the FYE as my initial point of reference, both academic and personal. Through this, I was able to learn more about what I have at arm's length and what more I can accomplish. This center was funded through the Title V grant dedicated to HSIs. Currently, as the FYE is formally embedded into PCC, it continues to be a place where students are encouraged to pursue their academic goals and communicate with people who will remain focused on supporting them in their journey. Centers like these are essential to the transformation and development of our students as they explore the possibilities of their future. With the understanding that HSI funding does not directly impact the FYE Center, it does impact the ability for PCC to dream freely. The efforts to make FYE possible is a testament to what we can achieve and what we can do to improve the lives of our students. Equipo and all of our communities of PCC are here to advocate and keep that fire burning. We are here today as proof that we are more than students, faculty, and staff. We are the key holders to the success of our journeys. I encourage our colleagues and board members to consider the importance of the work we do and the powerful role that you stand in today. Thank you.
Colleagues, we have a few more comments left. I think we only would need 10 more minutes. Can I have a motion to extend public comment to accommodate the rest of our comments for 10 minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Student Trustee Darakshani. Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
That passes, and we'll continue with public comment. Our next public comment is from Forrest Snyder.
Good evening. My name is Forrest Snyder, and I'm a student enrolled in the Calculus Achievement for Success program. I originally enrolled at PCC in 2021 in an online-only calculus course and had to withdraw due to an inability to play catch-up with foundational concepts necessary to succeed in this course. That's because I had been out of school for about 12 years at that point, and the expectation was you had come out of high school and you had a lot of the algebra that was necessary to succeed. CAS has afforded me the ability to succeed because it reinforces all of these concepts and refreshes all this stuff with such intensity that you are able to succeed as an individual who doesn't have this background initially. Like, I wasn't a math whiz when I was in high school, but now I feel more confident than I ever have in this calculus course. I think it's also important to note that the sense of community that's fostered among the students is insane. I've never had this experience before in college. I think it's a model that should be applied to every discipline at this school because it is creating connections among the students who very well may end up our colleagues in our chosen disciplines. So I just wanted to give a big thanks to Professor Johansson because she personally reached out to me and made me aware of this program. I was debating not returning to school until I heard about it because calculus was going to be the gatekeeper for my degree. Now I feel like I'm definitely going to be capable of passing the courses that are necessary for me to get into neuroscience, and that wouldn't be possible without CAS. So just wanted to give my 2 cents.
Our next public comment is Mia Buenrostro.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I am yet again another CAS member speaking regarding the CAS program, and I think I also wanted to mention that not only am I a first-generation Latina woman, but I'm also an architectural engineer, and already a niche major in and of itself. I think just seeing the amount of support from the CAS program that I've received over the years, again, me being a graduate of this program, is just actually incredible. I've made a lot of lifelong friendships I've had multiple friends of mine who've transferred to UCSD, UC Berkeley, and things of that sort that have instilled the confidence in me that I could actually get through this. Especially not having a support system a lot at home. Cass is my support system. Through the tutors that have helped me to get to the place where I am now, to the people that I've tutored myself, and even from the professors always checking in on me, being like, how are things at home? You know, how are you doing? They care for me as a person, right? And it's whether it's regarding like stuff at home that might impact me academically, or just like overall if I need to like talk about something to see how I can succeed in my courses overall. This is the program, you know, that has helped me the most, right? I have been a student for 3 semesters in that program. I've finished calculus with that program. I even followed my professor to linear algebra to teach me because he was that good. I also have been a tutor for 4 semesters now. A lot of the people that are standing behind me, I tutored. And I support all of them. They can tell you, they've told you about how much effort we all put into this. Professors, tutors, everyone, working off the clock, you know, even having lunch with them outside of course time. Thank you, I can speak. And yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say about this program.
Our next comment is from Crystal Montoya.
Hi everyone, my name is Crystal Montoya and I'm proud to be another member of the Student Advisory People. First and foremost, I just want to thank each and every one of you for your time, your leadership, and the continued commitment you show in building a stronger and more equitable community. Your service doesn't go unnoticed, especially by students like us. So I'm here today to speak honestly and openly about my experience here as a Latina in STEM. So I believe that I'm not alone when I say that academic support doesn't always exist outside the campus. I'm the first STEM major in my family, and that means I don't have access to someone at home who can help me with my academics. So because of that, I rely heavily on the many academic resources that PCC offers. Because the truth is, without these support systems, our STEM community is at risk, especially for marginalized students, first-gen students, students of color, and students like me, who are already walking into their classrooms carrying more than just a backpack. From the Math and Science Success Centers to supplemental instruction, these spaces have kept me going. They would have helped me build confidence, not just as a student, but as a woman and a Latina in a field where we're often underrepresented. That comes with the pressure to represent, not just myself, but every Latina in STEM, and I take that responsibility very seriously. But I wouldn't be standing here speaking to you all if it weren't for these programs that invested in me when I didn't know how to invest in myself. So one of those programs is CAS, the Calculus Achievement for Success. So through Kipo's PACS partnership, which is a pedagogical advancement through collaboration of teachers and students, I've been able to observe firsthand of the power of diversity, growth, success, and most importantly, I've seen students believe in themselves, some of them for the first time. So many of us in the room are aware of the loss of the Title III funding, which supports STEM programs and resources like CAS. So I stand here tonight to make a call for action, to find creative, sustainable ways to maintain these vital support systems, because at the end of the day, when PCC supports its students, students succeed. And when students succeed, our entire community is able to stand with us. So although I speak solely on my own experiences tonight, everyone here is left wondering, what now? What can PCC do, and what is PCC willing to do as an institution to continue supporting its STEM students in a meaningful way? Thank you.
Next public comment from Colin.
Hi, good evening. My name is Colin. I'm a 4th-year geography student here at PCC. I also wanted to start with including that I'm the son of a family of immigrants. One of the things that I really have always admired about Pasadena City College is how adamant they are about caring about their local community. Yet, we still see that there are investments in companies such as Raytheon, who have been supplying surveillance tools to aid in the ICE raids. As my colleague Teresa mentioned, I know that you guys have a limited say in this issue, but I just feel it is very urgent because it shows that PCC's values and morals are not exactly consistent with their actions. Yeah, that's why I feel like divestment is crucial, not just for these ICE raids, but also other conflicts around the world where we see companies like Lockheed Martin, ExxonMobil, et cetera, contributing to these issues and profiting off of exploitation across the globe. So I just wanted to end with this question and keep it short. If PCC says that they care about marginalized groups and people, why does the foundation have investments in these companies? Yeah, again, to reiterate, I know you guys only have a limited say in this issue, but yes, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for being here today. That concludes our public comment. I was wondering if any of my colleagues would be willing to make a motion just for a 10-minute bio break.
Well, before I
we
move
can't comment on.
Oh, I'm
public
not going to make
comments.
a comment on
Okay.
public. I just want the individuals to know that I not only hear you with my ears, I hear you with my heart and my soul. Thank you for being here.
Can I have a motion for a 10-minute recess?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Okay, without objection, we'll return in 10 minutes. We're going to reconvene our meeting now. Thank you. Okay. And thank you again for all the comments that we had today. We're going to continue with our agenda. Our next agenda item is approval of the minutes for the Board of Trustees regular business meeting number 22. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion to approve by Trustee
Second.
Gibson. Oh, it's just motion to approve by Trustee Gibson, seconded by Trustee Chen Lao. Any discussion? Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Next, we have the approval of the minutes for the Board of Trustees special meeting number 23. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Discussion? We'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Abstain because I wasn't there.
Okay, of course. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any other abstentions? Abstention by, of course, Trustee Kwong. Thank you. Okay, our next item is board committees reporting out. Any committee reports? Okay, we'll go on to our combined consent calendar. Can I have a motion to approve items F1 through G10?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Aragon. We'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustee Aragon, your vote?
Yes.
Thank you. It
Pardon me.
passes. Next is our personnel consent calendar. Approval of the consent calendar items H2 through H4. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. And of course, personnel items, student trustee does not vote on this item. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next, on to our action items. Our first is to approval of the 2025-2026 board goals. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Silver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Gibson. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 That passes unanimously. Thank you. Also, when I say unanimously, obviously, I mean that with one absent today. I'm just habit of saying that. Thank you. Okay, our next action item, the approval of the MOU between the district and the Pasadena City College Confidentials. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Gibson. Do I have
Second.
seconded by Trustee Kwong. Okay. And this is a personnel item. Okay. Any discussion? All right, we'll move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes or abstentions?
No, sorry. Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's all
I will make
unanimous.
sure that I'm on it, sir.
Thank you. That was unanimous. Next is the approval of COLA increase for unrepresented administrators. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Gibson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Chen Lao. Thank you very much. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is our resolution number 870, consideration and adoption of resolution to eliminate classified positions.
I'd like to open this up for discussion.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Kwong.
Need a motion first and a second? Or no? I thought that's what it was, to open for discussion. Just
You could really,
Technically?
you could, yes, if you're discussing on the motion, you could discuss the item because it is the topic. So it really could go both ways. Yeah, but no, it's a fair point. It could go both ways. Could we get some background, perhaps, Mr. Blazinski, on this item?
Certainly. What you have before you is a resolution to give 60-day notices to individuals who might be possibly affected by this. We have, at the direction of the president, made every opportunity and are going to continue during these next 60 days to ensure that individuals affected by the potential of jobs being changed or eliminated, to keep them employed with the district in some capacity. In doing so, we have met with all the individuals that are going to be affected by this, went through the options that there will be afforded, and have worked extensively with the unions to ensure that we are fluid in putting people in positions where they might be qualified for, but has maybe never done those type of work, to ensure that they stay employed with the district while we get through what we're hoping for is a temporary kind of situation, and hopefully these jobs will come back. So that is what we have before you.
Thank you. And is it my understanding that this resolution is a statutory requirement?
It's a statutory requirement under the Education Code, and it's been negotiated with the unions as well, which is really one and the same as far as the language is concerned. So once again, this is just a notice period. It doesn't necessarily mean that jobs are going to be eliminated, and what we're doing everything is to keep that from happening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Basinski. Any further discussion on this item before we move to a motion?
What were you going to say? No, I just wanted to thank Bob for what he just said, and again, doing everything in the administration's ability to make sure that these individual employees are being taken care of. That is my primary concern. So thank you, the administration as a whole.
Okay. Can I have a motion then on this resolution?
So moved.
A motion to approve by Trustee Gibson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Kwong. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll move to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is our resolution number 871 on Indigenous Peoples Day.
So moved. Do you need a motion?
Yes. So the motion to approve by Trustee Aragon.
Yes. Just want to make
Do I
sure.
have a second?
May I make a motion to approve resolution 871, 872, and 873 together? No? Okay.
I think we should take them up individually today.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
agree.
you, though. Okay, so I have a motion by Trustee Aragon for resolution 871. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Kwong. Thank you very much. Any discussion on this item?
The only thing I'd say is I know Monday is the official I'm sorry, Trustee.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I know that Monday, as I understand, is on the calendar as an official day, correct? Recognized. It's on my calendar. And I just am full support of this, not only as a resolution, but hopefully that day we acknowledge and understand our Indigenous ancestry, and all of us. Please please, just the resolution, just do something that day and recognizes our commitment to our indigenous communities. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll move now to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next is resolution number 872, recognizing Filipino American History Month. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'd like to move that we approve this resolution for Filipino American History Month.
Thank you, Trustee Gibson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Student Trustee Derek Shawnee. Thank you so much. Any discussion on this item? Okay, we'll move to a vote. Student Trustee?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. That's unanimous. Next is resolution number 873, Minority Serving Institution Communities.
I'd like to move.
Okay, moved by Trustee Aragon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion on this item?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Student Trustee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This crucial resolution being passed today is underlined by the events happening currently in the country. The presidential administration contends that educational federal grants, such as Title V grant, have plainly failed students. I have had the privilege of attending an Equipo student advisory group meeting a couple days ago. Equipo was funded by the Title V grant. This is a student group I would like to talk about today. When I walked in, they were watching a short film by Gabby Moreno called Lamento. In the film, there was a song featured detailing the immense grief the film portrayed. Moreno sang, "I come to sing my sorrows of immense loneliness," and how they cried and how they cried. After hearing this lyric, I started thinking about the people surrounding me in that room. Equipo, the students who have always represented community to PCC, who have elevated the experience of being a community college student so that loneliness could not describe it. Equipo guides and nurtures Latin and first-generation college students in achieving academic success, building leadership identity, and developing post-secondary persistence. They currently support 10 active student leaders and have engaged more than 200 students through workshops, forums, and surveys. Equipo has not plainly failed students. It has actively contributed to their success time and time again via the culturally informed learning approaches they have taken. I believe that in reaffirming the identity of the college as an HSI with today's resolution, the next step taken must be supporting Equipo's process to be formally institutionalized. If the college wants to continue to serve as the leader it is in advocacy for MSI communities, I hope that it will take the necessary action to substantiate that title. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I will say something. Thank you very much for your words. I understand and know by not only working on this campus, but on a few other campuses that these grants serve all of our students. I know there's a target population, but it serves all our students. So really I'm happy for this resolution, but I know the administration, and I'm talking about the administration that is way north in Washington, D.C. It's a direct attack on our students, all of our students. It personally offends me, and I will work with all of my power to do what I need to do to help this administration. I'm talking about now, the college administration, to fill any gaps that have to be filled, because it's so important that our students continue to succeed, and it really hurts my heart. But that just means that we will work much harder. So that's what I need to say.
Thank you. I learned a few things about our HSA designation at the recent HSI Alianza breakfast not too long ago, which includes that our HSI designation began in the 90s, basically when we could have first been designated as an HSI. And so the importance of not just this designation, but the access and quite frankly, the spirit of what it's meant to serve and do has been a critical part of our campus for a very long time. I said to some community members in my own district recently about the challenges that we're experiencing in higher education today, And I think one thing that I had reiterated to them, and I will say again now, is that our commitment to our students, particularly our students in these communities, will remain unwavering. And so that's why I had asked for this resolution to be agendized tonight, immediately after at our next meeting after our learning of these cuts. And so I think one thing that I want to reiterate on this resolution that I think is important to say out loud is, the resolution does call board directing our campus, our superintendent, to ensure that resources, policies, and practices that affirm MSI students' success, empowerment, and belonging are advanced, safeguarded, and sustained. And I think those words are really important, particularly the sustained portion, because we know the funding that we receive or the work that we do in the context of being a minority serving institution certainly includes the large work that we do as HSI, but certainly also that we are also designated NAPZ, regardless of what funding we may be getting originally from the NAPZ designation. And so our commitment to our students remains. And I believe that this resolution is an important step to reaffirm that commitment in this landscape that we are currently experiencing, and also continue moving us forward in our goals, our student equity goals, our goals to serve all of our students.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are no further comments, we'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. Next action item is the approval of modifications and deletions to the credit curriculum. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Silver. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Aragon. Any discussion on this? We'll move to a vote. Student trustee?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Next, we'll go to our information items. Our first one is a transfer update. Oh, there we go, Dean. Dean Alexander, welcome.
Good evening, board members. President Gomez, my name is Dr. Tamika Alexander, and I serve as the Associate Dean of Transfer Honors and Completion. The programs that are within our division are the PASS program, Honors, the Athletic Zone, and the Transfer Center. So during our brief time together, we're going to talk a little bit about system-wide transfer work that's taking place. We're going to talk a little bit about transfer activities that are here on campus, and then we're going to highlight intentional programming that impacts our college's outcome. And this evening, we are joined by a representative from the CSU Chancellor's Office who will highlight the impact of our collective work together. So as you can see, we have the associate degree for transfer, and I love to call this the special degree. It's the degree that really gives our students access to the CSU system. Also very popular amongst community college students is UC Transfer Admission Guarantee, also known as TAG. And we have the new CSU Transfer Success Pathway, which is AB 132, which you'll hear about in just a moment. We have work that's taking place across the state as it relates to HBCUs, and then honors transfer program. But what's most exciting is transfer is really governed by regulations and legislation. So here at PCC, we have a very, very robust and active transfer center. And our goal is really to guide students and help them to navigate the complexities of transfer. And we're excited that within the Transfer Center alone, we make over 20,000 contacts each year. And I like to describe it as, in the transfer world, we do intentional activity every day. So what does that intentional activity look like? So we have our transfer programming that takes place at the college. Our first one is the Transfer Boot Camp. And this was created by Jahi Vaughn and Yvette Valdez, who came together to create a 3-day intensive program, series of workshops that are interactive, and they walk away with a Transfer Center book. And then it culminates with the field trip, and the photo you see are all PCC students. There's a little over 250 students. Here's what some of the students say about the experience. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. Another student said, do it, do it. It's very informational. And the last one is actually a parent This boot camp was instrumental in providing my student with invaluable information regarding the transfer process. And this particular student is transferring in 1 year. So great work to the team on that. University Day, I just want to say collectively to those who sported a university or a school that you admire, thank you, thank you. We had University Day Transfer Island Edition. So one of the things that makes us special here at PCC is we like to be creative. We want to engage students. And so we partnered with the Strategic Communication and Marketing Office, and we came up with University Day Transfer Island. Our goal was to have at least 700 students meet us out in the quad. Today, we had 1,107 students actually register today. So that's the great work of our faculty here on campus, our staff, and our students. So we're excited about that work. HBCU Caravan, I know many folks are familiar with the work that happens throughout the state. And one of the great things that we do at PCC is we partner with our colleagues in PUSD, dual enrollment. And so students have an opportunity to do on-the-spot admissions. We continue that great work. This one I'm really excited about. It's the Athletic Transfer Initiative. The Athletic Zone worked with the Institutional Research Office, and they did focus groups with our athletes. And we discovered they were not applying for transfer at the same rate as other transfer students. And so many of the athletes said, I'm waiting on my coach to help me land somewhere. So the team came up with a 3-part process, and we're gonna watch a video really quick to show you some intentional activity with our athletes. Here we go.
So the goal for today was to make sure that our student athletes create an account for the UC and CSU applications and also complete their demographic portion.
We had a fairly good turnout. I think we had over 50 plus students show up.
The benefit of coming to workshops like this is, one, you're getting hands-on support. You know you're not missing out on any information that you might have questions about.
We have a lot of students who are hoping to get athletic scholarships, and that's great. We are hoping that they get there. But in the event that they don't get maybe their top choice or their first school that they want to play at, we want to make sure that they're still making forward progress towards their end goals, and having an application for an academic transfer is one way to help them reach those goals in a timely fashion.
I think all the student athletes that came, they enjoyed themselves, they were fed, and yeah, they got a lot of information, so it was a good turnout.
So kudos to the Athletic Zone and Transfer Center for partnering together. If you noticed in the video, Cal State LA was there. We discovered a number of the athletes, soccer players in particular, and some of the other sports are interested, and so we're excited about that. Last but certainly not least is our honors transfer program. We're excited. We have well over 1,500 students. The acceptance rate from PCC to UCLA is 63%. Whereas the regular transfer rate from PCC to UCLA is in the 20% tile. But we're also thrilled that there is a brand new marketing campaign for honors, and it's called Why Not You? Why Not Now? And so we're working with our colleagues in IEDJ to help diversify the program, and we're excited we have a counselor, an educational advisor, so thank you IEDJ for your partnership. All right, we're going to look at a couple PCC outcomes, and then the CSU representative will join me. We are #1 in sending students to the Cal States and the UCs for 2024. This information was confirmed by Crystal Paul Ross's team and our folks at the UC and CSU system. So we're excited about that. So you can see how we compare to the sister campuses. Transfer admission guarantee, very popular with our PCC students. And you can see that we've increased the number of tag applications from year to year. And this is the one that I'm really excited about. This is the Transfer Success Pathway, where students are able to secure a spot at San Diego State, Cal State Long Beach. And so you'll see the numbers for fall 23, fall 24, we had an increase. But at this time, I'm going to have Jasmine Flores to talk a little bit about Transfer Success Pathway.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jasmine Flores, and I'm the Transfer Success Pathway Program Manager at the CSU Office of the Chancellor. In 2021, Governor Newsom signed AB 132, requiring the CSU and the UC systems to create a dual admissions pathway for community college students. In response, the CSU created the Transfer Success Pathway Program, which guarantees admissions for first-year college students and provides personalized advising, special event invitations, and access to campus resources in partnership with California's 116 community colleges. Our strongest partner in this effort has been Pasadena City College. I would be remiss not to express my deep gratitude to Dr. Tamika Alexander, Jocelyn Ramirez, and the entire Transfer Center staff for their dedication and hard work. PCC has led the state in student enrollment in the TSP program for the past 2 cycles and is on track to do so again this year. They serve as a model of excellence and a true example of what effective partnership looks like. Other community colleges would do well to look at PCC as a guide for successfully implementing this program on their campuses. Their unwavering investment in their students' transfer journeys is truly commendable. Through their proactive engagement, personalized support, and collaborative spirit, PCC continues to open doors for opportunities to countless students who aspire to earn a 4-year degree. Their success demonstrates what's possible when institutions work hand in hand to remove barriers, streamline pathways, and prioritize student achievement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. We're excited because this is not the work of one department here on campus, one division, but this is a collective of success. We work with our instructional faculty. We work with folks in outreach, and so we're excited about the success. So we're number 1 for 23, 24, so hopefully for the next one. So thank you, Jasmine. We appreciate you being here. And last slide, I promise. We have 2 university partnerships. This work has to be hand in hand. So we have the UCLA Center for Community College Partnerships. We're in talks with renewing that contract. And we have a brand new MOU that is in the works, and it's with Cal Poly Pomona. There's gonna be data sharing, and they're gonna create a bridge between our transfer success students here to their programs there at Cal Poly Pomona. So we're excited. So thank you for your time, and we'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Thank you, Dean Alexander. Okay, if any of my colleagues have any questions, Trustee Chanao.
Congratulations on a wonderful program and certainly the efforts of the entire team. It sounds like it takes a village, right, to get the success outcomes that we're seeing. I have a couple questions, one of which is, now that you've seen this program through 2 cycles, what are some of the barriers and challenges that you are seeing that our students are experiencing that perhaps those of us on the board can be aware of and to help support removing some of the barriers?
Yes, so one of the things that I've noticed is, and I think I've mentioned this before, it's the cost to transfer. Mm-hmm. So there's a cost for orientation, a cost for, the housing deposit. And for some of our students, they make it all the way to the finish line. They do everything they need to do here, but they don't quite have the $65 to seal the deal with the next institution. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things we've done is we've partnered with a number of areas on our campus where we provide that support where there's a gap. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the biggest piece. They've got the requirements. They can do it, and they're ready to transfer, but they oftentimes don't have that additional funding to make the transfer a reality.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
My second question is around the number of transfers. For example, when we have students that are enrolled as freshmen, I'm curious to know if we take a survey of students who want to transfer when they're coming in, or the type of education attainment that they want to achieve here at PCC. And if we do have those numbers, you don't have to give it to me today. I mean, it could be for at a next meeting. What are the numbers for freshmen class that want to transfer? And then when we track them, what is the percentage of freshmen that actually do transfer, and how long does it take a student here at PCC to transfer? One of the things I would like to know in a future update would be, what trends are we seeing? Are we seeing longer time with transfers? Are we seeing continued barrier with the transfers? Those are some of the questions I'd like to have some answers to at the next time around.
Definitely would be happy to provide that information for you. One of the things that we have seen, students who are connected to a program have a higher success rate in transferring. So whether that's EOP&S, whether it's honors, pass. And so we would be happy to provide some of the survey data that we do have and provide those numbers for you.
Because one of the things that we're looking at, as a board, is the type of funding needs, right, for these programs. And when we see the trajectory of advancement, we certainly want to support that continuous success. And that's why I asked about challenges and barriers, because we want to make sure that we provide the necessary resources, especially financial resources, to be able to support our students.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Kwong?
Could you explain a little bit more what this MOU that you are working on with Cal Poly Pomona?
Yes, so one of the items, and we're in negotiation, is to really talk about sharing data. So when our students apply, let's say to Cal Poly Pomona, we don't have a master list of who actually applied. And one of the things that the UC system does is they have what's called the UC project, where they provide us the data of where our students apply to, and then we as a transfer center are able to follow up as they're going through the application journey. It would be extremely beneficial for us to have that same access to the data to know what are their majors, what's their GPA, are they stuck in the transfer process, and how can we kind of fill those gaps? And so that's one component of the MOU. And then another component is to kind of broaden the transfer success pathway. I know right now San Diego State and Cal Poly Pomona are some of the top institutions that students are wanting to secure that spot. At university today, Cal Poly Pomona literally had a line. And so we want to kind of expand to see how we can increase those numbers for all students.
Thank you.
Just a quick question on a couple of things. For the transfer success pathways as it exists currently, are there like caps as to how many students an institution would be perfect?
So it's going to be dependent on campus. There are some campuses like Cal Poly Pomona that may have caps on how many students can sign guaranteed admission agreements based on programs. We're really going to be talking about those impacted majors, so engineering at Cal Poly Pomona. The same thing goes with Long Beach and San Diego State, right? So the campuses are able to essentially close the programs for agreements when they feel that that quota has been met. That has not happened. I have been in my role within 2 years. Coming up on 2 years, the program's only existed for 3. We have not met any caps yet. Is that something that's going to happen in the future? Possibly, right? But as of right now, essentially everyone who signs up for the program will get in if they are eligible for it.
Thank you. That's really helpful. And then one more quick question, perhaps for you, Dr. Alexander. I just need to be reminded, because I cannot remember this at the moment. What are the requirements for a student to enter the honors program?
Students need to have a 3.2 GPA. They can have that right out of high school. They provide a transcript. Or once the student is here, let's say they don't have a 3.2, once they obtain that, then they can apply for the program. And then there's technically about 5 courses that they need to complete in order to be certified.
Thank you very much.
One quick clarification. For the $65 transfer fee, is that for every school that they want to go to, that's $65, or is that $65 a one-time transfer fee?
So there are different dollar amounts depending on the institution. So some universities will say, hey, you applied for financial aid, we're not going to charge you. We'll kind of work that out on the back end. Whereas others will say, if you're coming for orientation, you have to pay the $65. So the dollar amounts vary depending on the institution.
So if I'm a student and I want to transfer to 4 different schools, like I've applied to transfer for 4 different schools. So would that be $65 here? Maybe my fee is waived here and another $65 at another school.
Right. So
okay.
a few years ago, so believe right now the application fee, because there's different fees, I believe is $70.
Okay.
And so I know we were in my office a couple years back, and we had a lot of our students who needed help. They didn't meet the requirements for the fee waiver. And so they were having, they're on the phone, well, Mom, do I apply to 3 schools or 2? And, they're getting their parents' credit card. So typically, those who fill out the fee waiver and that qualify can apply up to 4 schools for free. But if you don't meet those requirements, then a student is having to pay $70 per campus. And we typically have 4 or 5 schools, I believe, that students typically try to apply for. So it can be costly.
Thank you. Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions from Trustee Aragón?
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tamika Alexander.
Thank you.
I know the wonderful work you do and your staff does, and everyone else that is in the chain of helping our students transfer, and it does take a pueblo to make that happen. They usually say village, I said pueblo, right? Anyway, I just want to ask a couple of things. Is the intent, I remember there used to be an intent to register fee. Is that separate?
Intent to register fee is separate.
Which is another cost.
Another cost.
Okay. I want to thank you again for your presentation. I really appreciate that you highlighted the athletic zone program because I have asked in the past for some numbers on students that are athletes that obtain degrees and that transfer. So I know they're there, so I hope I can see those someday.
Yes, we can definitely provide those.
Okay, great. Because I know how it is, as a minor athlete and athlete scholars in my family, I understand that the athletes get pulled many ways and thinking they're going to hit the big time. But so that's really important to me that they get their degrees and transfer. I want to ask the questions then. I know we can get the slides for this presentation? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and I want to say congratulations on San Diego State being at 98 students. That's awesome because I know how difficult it is to get San Diego State, let alone articulation agreements.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. We're not in their backyard, but yes.
Right, because I remember again, San Francisco State also was in there. I do want to say, I want to share a story of a student that I ran into recently at the gym who he remembered me as a counselor. But he also mentioned you and your staff at the transfer center, and he's now a doctor, and he went to UCLA. Yay. So congratulations. I just want to share that story. That just happened in the last couple of weeks when I actually got to the gym. So
Awesome.
thank you for
so much.
helping. Please let your staff know that the students are out there, and I run into them often. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Alexander. Okay, next we have a facilities update. Mr. Lurett.
Thank you, Tamika. You're a hard act to follow. Good evening, trustees, President Gomez, colleagues, and the community of Pasadena City College. My name is Richard Laird. I'm your Executive Director of Facilities and Construction Services. I'd like to give you a really brief update on some of our highlights. There's a lot more work going on than this, and this is some of our highlights we'd like to share with you. On tonight's agenda, we want to talk about projects that were completed. Our iconic mirror pools and Sexton Auditorium renovations. I want to give you an update of activities that happened during summer, what's coming up with Measure PCC, campus-wide sustainability, and capital outlay projects. So just some quick facts on the mirror pools. They were built in 1937. In 1949, we had snowball fights. There was a snowstorm and they were filled with snow. The large pool is 48 by 160, the small pool is 48 by 32, and together they hold over 17,000 gallons of water. They were last remodeled in 1987, and in 2025, we engaged in a lease-leaseback delivery method, and we were able to complete the project within 6 months. Here's a couple before and after pictures, but really what I'd like to do is share a timeline with you because I don't think that really gives you the impact of what happens on construction. So as we go forward here, this is 6 months of construction. Today, we're finding it a collaborative and vibrant space. It's really satisfying for us in facilities to actually see something that we create and it gets such use. I think every afternoon you go by, you can see someone out there collaborating, students are having lunch and enjoying them. Our next big iconic project that we're very proud of is Sexton Auditorium. Some quick facts about Sexton. It was rebuilt after the 1933 Long Beach earthquake in 1936. It has a seating capacity of 1,964 seats. It's hosted such shows as Bob Hope, Van Halen played there from 73 through 76, Creative Emmy Awards, and musical Broadway Hairspray has also been in there. During our 100-year celebration refresh, all finishes maintain the original aesthetics. We didn't really change anything. And we went with a multi-prime contracting method where the college actually ended up acting as the general contractor. Again, I'd like to just share a picture's worth 1,000 words. So we had a busy summer. Next,
Sorry, I just had a quick question before
certainly.
because I'm totally going to forget. For the Sexton Auditorium refresh, that delivery method. So you're saying that we were, as a campus, was the contractor to source each piece of that process.
Correct. What we call in the industry is a multi-prime. So each subcontractor was actually a prime contractor, but we acted as the general contractor, going out and securing them their bids and then overseeing the work.
How common of a process is that?
It's not uncommon. A lot of times it will be it's also called CM at risk, where a CM firm is hired to do the same thing and they're responsible for the delivery to the project. We've done it on a couple projects here where when I first got here, we did it for V100 when we redid that area there, that we took it over and we went ahead and put it out as a multi-prime.
That's helpful. Thank you. I just never heard of it before, so
sure.
Thank you.
So if that wasn't enough, we embarked on Rosemead, the new campus. And so I've gotten a timeline over to the left-hand side. We're looking at from 2024 to 2030. 2024 was when we acquired the property. The red bolded boxes are where we are in the process right now. And this is all driving towards a delivery date of 2030, spring of 2030. So we have the acquisition entitlement phase is ongoing right now. That's where we're going to change the zoning with the city from a commercial use to a public use. And then we're also right in the middle of programming with the stakeholders here at the college. And once we get through programming, that will inform CEQA. And then CEQA will take and look at how many students are going to be on the site, what kind of buildings we're looking at, the traffic patterns, and then they'll form the CEQA plan. After CEQA is passed through, we'll go to full design and DSA approval. We'll go to bidding and award, construction, which generally takes about 2 years for a project like this, and then we'll go to close out and occupancy and have classes. We also are in the midst of putting out some work for Measure PCC. We have five projects that we're putting out. The first one is a grouped project. They're all going out this quarter to our design bench, and they'll get started on those. And then they have varying delivery dates, starting the earliest in the third quarter of 2027, and the longest delivery out in 2029, fourth quarter, and that would be the new STEM building. So we've grouped Lancers Pass, Aquatic Center, and the W building demolition because they all have interconnected utilities and they're all in that same geographic footprint. We are also going out with the STEM building, new construction for design. The boiler house modernization is taking and leveraging a space that's underutilized and turning it into potential office space for the college to use and ITS warehousing. We're also looking at the new instructional building that was identified in the facilities master plan at the annex footprint. And then what we've done is a little bit differently is we're taking a look at the new student services building, and we want to take a real holistic look at student services, the quad, the pathway past the shops and Lot 3, which really is a gateway onto the campus. So we were going to put that out to a designer to take a look at that as a master plan and kind of take a look at that holistically as how our students come on campus out of Lot 3 and enter into the campus towards a student service center. And then we're working on sustainability. We've engaged a third-party vendor through College Buys, and we're working with them on a plan. This plan will be 18 months in the making. All of 3 items are simultaneously being worked on with the earliest delivery in 12 months with EV charging and electrification of our fleet. We're coordinating with Pasadena Water and Power and Metro on some of these activities to leverage the infrastructure to get the best deal for the district. Our second task with Answer Advisory is we're going to take a look at clean energy generation here on campus, looking at solar voltaic and battery storage. So there's the potential to store electricity on campus for almost a microgrid type of activity or sell it back to Pasadena Water and Power. And then our third most important is we're coming up with a holistic sustainability master plan to envision the decarbonization and electrification strategies to support our board resolution 799. Like I said, these 3 things are ongoing concurrently, and the item number 3, the sustainability, will be the longest lead time, which we should have that in 18 months. In addition to sustainability, we have a general fund and state-supported scheduled maintenance that we get capital outlay funds for. Of those capital outlay funds, currently, I think we've all walked around and seen the campus. We're in the middle of a complete repaint of the exterior of the campus. That will finish up this spring. We're also working on a number of projects that just came out this quarter. VRC to Science Village swing space remodel we're working on. We're also working on a remodel of the dental hygiene lab that will take place next summer during class recess. We're also working on new chillers for the central plant, and we're also going to be putting out a campus-wide roofing phase 2 of our capital outlay projects. And that's a quick wrap-up. There's a lot more going on, and I'll open it up to questions. Oh. Thank you.
Any questions? Trustee Silver?
I think that you probably didn't, but I'm wondering when you were remodeling Sexton Auditorium if you found anything interesting, hidden interesting things.
I don't think we did, but maybe when Steve Dietrich was doing the rigging in the back, because they also did rigging and new speakers, they might have found something interesting. I think we did, I think we shared with President Gomez, I think we found a flyer of an old Van Halen bill for when they had one of their performances.
Nice.
Do you want to go?
I also found the first time that we used the audio equipment that Richard is actually a Wall of Voodoo fan.
Oh, yes.
Trustee Aragon?
I heard the Phantom of the Sexton Auditorium was found in the rafters.
Could be.
Yeah,
I
sure.
did not see
I heard
that.
him one time. So thank you for your presentation. I have a couple of things in regards to the OWL building, and I see it not highlighted here. Is it still the plan to raise that building and then build us another student services building? Because I know it was mentioned, and it was mentioned as far as like I heard the walk through. So that's my question.
Yes. So it is still in the facilities master plan as a replacement building.
Mm-hmm.
What we wanted to do is take an opportunity to take a look at, as you can see on the map, Lot 4 and Lot 3 really feed into the main campus, and with the student services being at the far north end, we wanted to take a look at the quad, the R building, and the W building, and how we transition from Lot 3 into campus to the student services building. We just wanted to do a little bit more thoughtful research as we go through and finally start to settle on a plan and start working with stakeholders on the needs of a new building.
Great, thank you. And then I can also get these slides as a PDF and as
absolutely,
a hard copy. Yeah, I would appreciate like the slides on actually on both this and the transfer, because I do want to share it with my constituents. And then the hard copy. L building, I already asked. And the last thing really is the boiler room.
Yes.
I just want to know, I've never asked what happens in that boiler room, because it reminds me of Frankenstein and its monster. Speaking of
Absolutely.
Halloween.
Actually, if you ever want to experience the lab of Frankenstein, the O&P actually has got a wall with dials and gauges on it that really looks like Frankenstein's
I'm a
lab.
Halloween baby, by the way. I
Yeah.
love Halloween. So boiler room, what happens in the boiler room?
So the boiler house, when we were back in the 30s, and the campus looked a lot different than it was, the boiler house actually had large heating boilers. And what they would do is they would use, I think if you think back to some of your old days, you used to see like steam radiators in some of the old schools. And that's really how they produced heat. So the boiler house actually had boilers that heated up steam and water, and then that went out and fed C, D, and E, the original 3 buildings, and that's what kept everything warm during the winter. So those boilers were decommissioned way before I got here, and so really the boiler house is it's our laundry, and it's an empty building that we are kind of underutilizing. So we look at it as a place to leverage. Most of the projects we're starting right now are projects that we would consider for growth. They're either underutilized or they're vacant, and for me it's a big win that when we can convert that and then turn it over to student use.
Awesome. Thank you. I stand corrected. Boiler house.
Boiler house, yes.
Right on. Thank you.
Trustee Silver?
Where is the boiler house?
You can see on the map, there is the little black pin.
Oh.
That's Facility Services Building, and right to the right of that is the boiler house where it says FB. It might not be too clear, but that's FB.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just mention why we're doing the visioning of the northwest sort of part of the campus? Because I'm not sure, I think Trustee Aragon was sort of getting to that. If I'm going to be more blunt about why we're doing this. We have a very beautiful campus, but when you come on that side, so much of the public comes in that way. It's not our best look. You see garbage cans, trash cans. You see, we need to really think about the aesthetics of that side of the campus and try to incorporate all of this new construction with an eye to making sure that our students and our community, right, have access to these buildings and aren't having to walk,
Right.
over the
Trash compactor.
trash compactor. There you go. All right. But you were doing it very kindly.
Yes. Yeah, I was being a little more political in my description of that area. I have my own personal opinions that are probably as blunt as yours. In my short tenure here, and as I'm walking on the campus, I run across a lot of our students that need direction, especially during summer when they're trying to get signed up and they want to know what student services is. And they come out of the parking, if you think about it, our student parking is on the south of this campus, yet they need to transverse all the way to the north of the campus. And even though we have maps, it's kind of confusing to snake your way around all those buildings. So I thought we had an opportunity, just from my personal experiences interacting with students, to take a step back and look at what is the most thoughtful way to get our students from Lot 3 and Lot 4, where the majority of the parking is, into campus to the Student Service Center. And so that's what we're going to hire a professional architect to take a look at that again. I know it was identified in our facilities master plan as a building that was not meeting the needs of the campus and needed to be replaced for our student services. But the master plan didn't address the larger question of how do we make it more inviting? How do we draw our students into that area? So that's what that little step back project is about.
Thank you.
So would that include the possibility of moving that building somewhere else, or no? Is that feasible? Just as a what if? I guess anything is possible, but or maybe it's not.
I think that what we will do is we will, again, I won't be blunt. I'll just tiptoe around this conversation. No, what we will do is we will come with a recommendation and we'll go through shared governance and it will be up to the trustees and the college. I'm just going to bring you information. I'm going to find you the best way to get our students on campus and to that service. Things change. Facilities master plans, we look at reevaluating every 5 years. We have a lot of things going on the east side of campus with a new STEM building and something with Rosemead.
Right.
We can take a look at it once we get a little bit more information.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you for the presentation and thank you for all the work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Mr. Chair, I just also want to congratulate Ryan, who's the chair of our facilities committee, right? And I know he's not here tonight, but I know he works hard with the entire college, and so I just want to give kudos also to Ryan on his behalf. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. Superintendent President's report.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief. I know it's getting late, but first I wanted to thank both Richard Lorette and also Dr. Tamika Alexander for your wonderful presentations and the great work you each lead on campus. I also want to thank Jasmine Flores from the CSU Chancellor's Office for her, is she still here? No, she's not. She's here, where is she? Oh. No, okay. Well, I wanted to thank her. Please express our appreciation to her for coming here on a Wednesday evening to share the success of Pasadena City College across the entire CSU being #1. That's incredibly impressive. I also wanted to thank the members of Alianza and others in the PCC community who offered public comments this evening. Their care and compassion for our students and their commitment to helping them achieve their dreams is what makes Pasadena City College the higher education leader that it is. They're the reason our students pass up other community colleges to come and study here at Pasadena. We heard from various areas of our campus this evening, but everyone shared the mutual understanding of the importance of being a proud HSI and MSI, which today's board resolutions beautifully articulated. So I want to thank the board for passing those resolutions, and in particular, the HSI and MSI resolutions. As we observe Latine Heritage Month here on campus, as well as Filipino Heritage Month, with all of the events and activities taking place, I'm reminded of the many roles PCC plays in the lives of our students and why students choose to pursue their dreams here at PCC. At PCC, we provide an environment where students can discover who they are and who they will and can become. In our community, students not only discover their career paths and their passions, they receive education and training, they find their community, they embrace their identities, and they find a sense of belonging. We can all be encouraged and inspired by the presentations we've heard, from the public comment that we received. They inform us that PCC will continue to play these roles in the lives of our students. The underlying theme uniting all of these presentations is that PCC is thriving and expanding. Today we heard from Richard Lorette about all the work our facilities team is doing to expand our capacity to serve our students in our community. Every day, his team is hard at work, making our campus even more comfortable, useful, and relevant for our community. From our newly renovated mirror pools and surrounding seating to the marvelous Sexton Auditorium and our cutting-edge Serafium building, facilities ensure that we have what we need. Our plans for a campus in Rosemead are moving forward and reaching important milestones on the road to becoming a reality. I'm really impressed in our team's commitment to sticking with this plan and really proceeding at a really rapid velocity so that we can ensure that those students in that part of our district receive the services and support that they deserve. Our students are thriving, and opportunities available to them are expanding. You heard from Dr. Alexander's presentation that PCC students transfer to the CSU and the UCs at a higher rate than any other community college in the universe, really, because, I mean, I'm sure, it's certainly in California, and that also means probably the entire country. So those numbers, I know, reflect a deliberate strategy that centers the needs of our students. And you saw in the presentation some of those strategies: thoughtfulness, an investment of resources, leadership, innovation, and creativity, and plain old hard work that is paying off and benefiting our students. I see it every day. I'm very proud of Dr. Tamika Alexander, my classmate from Cal Poly Pomona. I'm glad that you're pushing them over there to be an even stronger partner for us. If you had an opportunity to walk around campus today, you saw folks sporting their college or university t-shirts and sweatshirts, reminding students of the world of opportunities available to them. Our community's choice of attire today was in response to a direct appeal from our transfer center. As we can all see, the PCC community got on board with this idea of elevating conversation and action leading to transfer. Our university-themed clothing is just one example of how PCC works together to create an environment that nurtures achievement. Thank you to everyone in our community some in our community, because I'm looking around, some of you didn't wear your, college gear, but it's okay, maybe next year. Thank you to the PCC community for showing up in their college gear today. I also want to just provide you with a update on our enrollment and headcount. The reason why our enrollment and headcount continues to go up is because we have such incredible facilities, and people know that when they come to PCC, if they choose to transfer, they're going to be supported and they're going to be successful. Both are up compared to this time last year. Last year at this time, our enrollment was 70,314. Today, our enrollment is 73,792. That's up 5% from this time last year. In 2024, at this time, our head count was 25,000. This year, it's 25,811. Yes. Each of those numbers represents an expansion in the story of how we are working better to serve our students and community and to help everyone thrive. Thank you to everyone for the work that you all have been doing. It's been a very challenging 8 months. We have encountered a great deal of tragedy and also unexpected hurdles, but we continue to move forward and we continue to be Pasadena City College. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gomez. Okay, we'll go now to announcements by our shared governance representatives and then our Board of Trustees. We'll begin with our associated students.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chloe Dang, and I'm the president of the Associated Students. Our executive board has been hard at work attending several college-wide committee meetings, tending to their own AS committees, and preparing for our upcoming California Community College Student Affairs Association Conference. That is a mouthful, in San Jose on October 17th through 19th, and planning these several events throughout the month that I am happy to report about today. On September 17th, we held Constitution Day out in the quad, courtesy of our Vice President of External Affairs, Madeline Lauterbach. During the event, we gave out free ice cream, pocket constitutions, merch, and held trivia games. The event also featured the League of Women Voters Pasadena chapter, who helped several students register to vote. Overall, it was a success in promoting political literacy, and continuing on that note, we will also be hosting a Prop 50 education and voter registration event where we will be inviting back the League of Women Voters to inform students about Prop 50 and its implication if passed. They will also be helping out again with voter registration, and there will be free pizza. The event will be held on Thursday, October 16th at 11 a.m. in the Wi-Fi Lounge, and we encourage everyone present to make it out if they are able. On September 29th through 30th, our Vice President of Sustainability, Thindar Rajan, held our second-hand September swap party in the Wi-Fi Lounge. The event served as a means for students and faculty to donate second-hand clothes and items that they didn't use to promote environmental sustainability, and I am proud to report that it was a great success. Over 200 students attended the event, and over 500 items were successfully repurposed. We received positive feedback from many students and many requests to hold similar events in the future. Yesterday, on the 7th, our Vice President of Campus Activities, Savannah Robles, held the homecoming dance where 125 students enjoyed food, listened to music, and, of course, danced with both old and new friends. Tomorrow, the 9th, we will have our pep rally from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. in the quad, where we will offer free pizza and merch, and our homecoming football game at 6 p.m. in the Robinson Stadium, where we will be giving away free burgers and merch again. As always, we'd like to extend an invite to everybody present today. As students ourselves, we recognize how important it is to aid in curating a social and close community within our student body, and I am particularly proud of our executive board members' work in hosting events that further promote that sentiment. In that same vein, we also recognize how important it is to uplift our fellow students in times of need. Our current political climate, and particularly the Noam v. Perdomo decision passed by the Supreme Court in September, has shown that now, more than ever, we must stand in solidarity with our student body. Our full public statement regarding the decision has been released on our social media, but I'd like to end my report tonight with this piece from the statement. We believe that an undocumented student, a student of color, an immigrant student, or a non-English speaking student should never be criminalized due to their appearance, especially not within a country that has blossomed at the hands of said people. ASPCC continues to support every student, regardless of immigration status, by promoting empathy and practicing allyship. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Classified Senate.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. On September 26, People Connecting Over Coffee launched its October matching, resulting in 63 campus-wide pairings. We hope this initiative will provide faculty, staff, and managers an opportunity to build connections through 30-minute conversations. Our focus now turns to our fall general meeting, scheduled for Wednesday, October 15th. As outlined in our bylaws, this meeting is a vital part of our shared governance processes. The primary goal will be to encourage participation in ad hoc committees, standing committees, and begin preparations for the 26 to 28 Classified Senate Board elections. We're also pleased to announce the return of Classified Spirit Week, taking place October 28th to the 31st. These events are designed to strengthen our sense of community and engagement through themed activities such as Twinning Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, pumpkin painting, and a costume contest. We extend a welcome to Christian Dyer and Claudia Zamora, who will join Facilities and Construction Services. As we end our report, Classified Senate would like to recognize and thank the Upward Bound classified professionals for their outstanding work. Their dedication has supported students and families from PUSD, fostering a strong sense of community and enforcing a college-going mindset. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Management Association.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Management Association, I'd like to begin by welcoming our two newest managers at PCC. Hagop Kassian joins us as the Director of Facilities and Construction, the first to serve in this new role. Zohab Kwazi will be stepping into the role of Director of Enterprise Application Services. We want to welcome them both. I also want to acknowledge that one of our managers, Jackie Johnson, has accepted a dean position at Oxnard College. We'll miss Jackie and wish her continued success in this new exciting chapter. Last Friday, October 3rd, we held our Management Association General Meeting. We want to thank everyone who took the time to present and share updates with managers. Special thanks to Bob Blazinski, Dr. Bolin, Richard Larrett, Carl Schaefer, and Darlene Inda for your time, insights, and thoughtful responses to our questions. During her presentation, Dr. Bolin informed managers about resolution number 873. We want to recognize this resolution as a meaningful gesture, especially in light of the recent loss of HSI and Upward Bound funding. Thank you to everyone in the PCC community who shared heartfelt public comments about how that funding has impacted them and the campus community. We look forward to continued action and investment that will uphold PCC's commitment to equity and its designations as an HSI, and a PZ, and emerging BSI. Lastly, we appreciate the board approval of COLA for unrepresented managers and look forward to seeing COLA on the agenda for the remaining managers at the next board meeting. This concludes our report. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll go to our student trustee.
Thank you. So I hosted an ASPCC event last Thursday. It was a bystander intervention training event. It was a very insightful, informational session in collaboration with Right to Be, which is a national advocacy organization, and the IADJ. I believe events like intervention training are immensely crucial in the college's advocacy for students of color. I hope that other groups on campus feel inspired to also host such events promoting allyship and building community. And I want to thank Trustee Aragon for joining us at that event. I also wanted to inform everyone that this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and in honor of that, I am hosting a donation drive in collaboration with ASPCC at 10 different centers on campus, including the Freeman Center, the Dream Center, the Family Resource Center, and many more. It will go on from October 14th to 28th. Proceeds will go to Friends Indeed Pasadena and Lancer Care on campus. We are accepting new and packaged undergarments. We also have an Amazon wish list if you prefer to donate that way. So students who are involved in clubs on campus can also receive club hours if they donate. Thank you so much, and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Student Trustee Derek Shawnee. Next, we'll go to Trustee Silver.
Yes, I was so proud to attend the Western Justice Center's fundraiser and event where our president, Dr. Gomez, was honored as a, what do they call it?
Movement Impact Award.
Thank you. Movement Impact Award for the work with PCC in our community. What I remember during those days in January is there was such great need in the community, and you know, a typical person hears something that's out of the ordinary, they're like, oh, no, 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 no. But Dr. Gomez's first response was yes, and then he would figure out how to make that happen. And I think because of that, for one reason, because of that, is why he so justly deserved that award. And we were proud to be there, along with people from Pasadena Unified School District who use the services of the Western Justice Center. And I didn't know a lot about it, but they had a situation where one of the schools that was impacted by the fire and could no longer be used had to merge with another existing school. And the situation of two campuses with two cultures, with two principals, two people kind of with their tribes coming together could have been really problematic, but the work of the Western Justice Center brought them together to a unique and beautiful new community. So that was nice. I also happened to go to Trustee Gibson's book event. He's an author and has a new novel called Out of the Ashes.
Aftermath of Ashes.
Aftermath of Ashes. I'm sure informed by your personal experience, lived experience, and it was a lovely book event. I went to the the bittersweet Upward Bound culminating event full of joy, sadness, stories, families, alums and current students. And I heard all the comments, and the truth of them was so evident at that program. And you know, nothing is forever, so let's carry on with optimism. And lastly, I did participate in the People Connecting Over Coffee earlier this week, and I heartily recommend everybody to sign up for that. I had the most delightful and interesting coffee with Marvin Reyna out of the Pathways program, and I learned so much about PCC, learned about him, and I have a new friend on campus. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Silver. Next, Trustee Aragon.
Okay, thank you. And Cami, yes, I also attended the Western Justice Center evening, so congratulations again, Dr. Gomez, for all your hard work here and in the community. I'm going to try to get this really quickly. I want to say that I do have my San Francisco State University shirt under my tie. But I also went to Rio Hondo College, and I also went to Cal State Fullerton, so I need to give them props. I can only wear one shirt at a time because it makes me look bigger. Anyways, what's laugh? Come on. Yes. Thank you for laughing. Okay. I want to say, I also thank you for mentioning that I attended the bystander intervention training. Thank you for doing that for our students. It was a wonderful opportunity to learn. I learned also, so thank you for putting that together. Where was I at this? I just want to mention one other thing. Well, I have a couple other things, but I want to acknowledge being that we are in Raza, or AKA Hispanic Heritage Month, we're at the tail end, that I do want to recognize Dr. Daniel Castro, also known as Sancho. I don't know if some of you remember the Sancho show that was on this campus. I run into him almost every Sunday at the market that they have over by PHS. The market that they have, he owns an olive ranch with him and his wife, Dr. Connie Ray Castro, who sat here as the first Chicana that was here on this board. And I just want to acknowledge him during this month and his contributions to our students, to our community. Sancho, right on. A couple other things here. I did get to attend the Gabi Moreno, who's a Guatemalan singer and artist. So congratulations. I know Pablo left already, but congratulations to the Puente program and to those students who were there that day. It was a wonderful, I got to catch the tail end of it. So wonderful, wonderful job today. And finally, just on, I don't need to continue to repeat what's happening in our nation right now and our attacks on our immigrant community, let alone any vulnerable communities. But I just want to say the board, I am so proud to sit on this board with you all that are so committed to our students, our undocumented students, our students that are being targeted and vilified. So it's just an honor to be here and to stand in solidarity, and also with the administration, because I know that we put our students first. And I will say, when it comes to the HSI grants and whether they're eliminated or not, I've had conversations with Dr. Gomez in regards to whatever happens with that money. These students still need to be served. These programs still need to happen. And I hope that we can all agree on that. And I have strong faith that those programs will somehow continue to prosper, because those students need to be served, right? Thank you very much. That's it.
Trustee Kwong?
Yep, I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Trustee Chanel?
I'd like to take this opportunity and say thank you to our board chair, Alton Wang, for leading us through a great board retreat. I know that it's a tough place to be sometimes, being the board chair, having to listen to all perspectives and having to have all different diverse opinions that you so patiently allow us to express. So we had a terrific board retreat, and we were able to really dissect some of our ideas and look at our vision for the next year. So thank you very much for organizing and coordinating that with Dr. Gomez.
Thank you. And I also would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Mr. Robinson and the work that he's put into that work as well. So thank you. Okay. Trustee Gibson.
Thank you. I want to thank the staff who gave reports. Thank you, Dr. Alexander and Richard Lara. Appreciate those reports. It was great to attend the flag lowering by the Veterans Resource Center. It was a wonderful, respectful event. I enjoyed the opening of the Filipino American History Month event. It was a wonderful event, and got to see a little bit of practice of tickling, dancing with the sticks. That was very impressive to see. It was, really enjoyed it. Thanks to TROPA, the student organization. I attended the K through 12 Black Education Expo this weekend at the Pasadena Convention Center. So really appreciate the staff that staffed our tables there, Sam and Emmanuel, and the other staff who served PCC at that big event. Thanks to Mayor Gordo, who was there, and Tyrone Hampton, and the other electeds who attended. I'm honored to be able to participate tomorrow in an event put on by NAACP and Women's League of Women Voters called Our Vote, Our Democracy. It's going to be at the Jackie Robinson Center tomorrow at 6. And so we really want to reach out to people and tell them the importance of voting right now, importance of voting in this election. So I'll be talking about the struggles that have brought us to where we are today, how the right to vote was acquired by Black people, women, the historical struggles that led us to where we are today, and the important things we need to do this month to ensure we have the rights we deserve. Last week I attended an event at EF Academy here in Pasadena. Lots of groups were there, Crossroads School, and the Jane Goodall Institute, and other programs called, one is TRIEMS. They're hoping to plant 5,000 trees in the burn areas from January over the next year or so. And partially supported by the Jane Goodall Institute. And I heard perhaps one of the last public presentations by Dr. Jane Goodall before she died here in LA last week. And I'd like to recommend that we adjourn in her name. I'll end with a quote from Dr. Jane Goodall. Every individual matters. Every individual has a role to play. Every individual makes a difference. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gibson. And we will, we can certainly adjourn in her memory.
I had to clap on that.
Okay. Well, thank you all for an important meeting tonight, and for all the folks in our community who came to share their experiences and to share their perspectives and to highlight the importance of the work that happens on this campus every single day. I did misspeak a little bit earlier, Trustee Silver. It's the Movement Builder Award, not the Movement Impact Award. And I really should have known that because I actually presented the award and I somehow misspoke there. But congratulations again to Dr. Gomez. But certainly the Western Justice Center and the incredible work that they do day in and day out, working with not just schools, but communities across our region. I also want to take a moment to congratulate the community that I serve in the city of Arcadia. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of attending the grand reopening of a public park that was many, many, many years in the making to restore one of our sacred green spaces, Newcastle Park, which is actually named after one of our sister cities for the city of Arcadia, which is Newcastle, Australia, which is very, very far away. But Newcastle Park has been a key space for our community for many years, and it's incredible to see it restored. I had the pleasure of working in another hat. I'm one of the founders of our Arcadia Parks Foundation, and we had spent the last few years fundraising for the restoration of this park. And so it's really incredible to be able to be with community, to see that project come to light and to see it returned into the hands of our community members. So congratulations to the city of Arcadia for that incredible and important achievement. I had the pleasure also of supporting and attending, and PCC supported the Taste of Arcadia, which is an event put on by our Chamber of Commerce, our hardworking Chamber of Commerce. And so many thanks to our outreach team who spent many hours in the sun on a Saturday afternoon engaging with community members at that important event. And it was incredible to see the community out and about and buzzing to support our local small businesses in our community. This past month, I also had the pleasure of joining our College Corps program in their orientation and launch. So thank you to the incredible team behind that, including Mr. Robinson and the folks at the Freeman Career Center, and the amount of work that has gone into that program in a short period of time to ensure that those 20 students are able to contribute in the recovery process and to support the organizations that have been so critical to that work. And so it was incredible to be able to join that orientation to say a few words to the program participants that are our students, of course. I also had the pleasure of attending a briefing and a tour of a health center by our Planned Parenthood at Pasadena, San Gabriel Valley. They recently did a briefing as to some of the challenges that they are facing in this moment with not just budget cuts, but straight up defunding of a lot of their work from the federal government, a theme that we are seeing across many different sectors. And so it was an honor to be able to join in learning about what the work ahead is and to really learn more about the day in and day out of the impact of one of their health centers and the critical work that they do every single day that goes beyond anything that's sensationalized in the media, but goes into critical basic healthcare services. And so it's a pleasure to visit one of those centers in Glendora. I also had the privilege of attending another community event a little bit on the other side of town for the launch of Circa, which is actually a queer history festival of sorts hosted by the One Institute and the LA LGBTQ Center. This month is LGBTQ History Month, and they launched a series of dozens and dozens of programs and programming in recognition of this month, including an incredible new exhibition that's hosted at the LGBT Center in Hollywood that looks at the impact of the AIDS crisis in Los Angeles and the response, or quite frankly lack thereof, our county board of supervisors at the time to support the health and recovery, or even just the health of the community in the 80s and 90s. And so congratulations to the One Institute, and I encourage folks who haven't heard of this program before to look it up and attend some of the many programs, and many of which are virtual, so you don't have to leave your home at all to attend, to recognize LGBTQ History Month. I'd also like to end and suggest that the board also adjourn in memory of another leader that has passed away. Just today was announced that Kent Wong of the UCLA Labor Center has passed. And for those who may not know, Kent not only being a key leader in the LA labor movement, but quite frankly, the national labor movement. He was one of the founders of the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance. He led the Labor Alliance for many years as president. He helped the UCLA Labor Center find its permanent home in MacArthur Park, where they continue to serve the community and conduct critical, not just research, but engagement with the broader civic landscape that is Los Angeles and our state. And so I wanted to encourage our board to also adjourn in memory of Kent Wong, Professor Wong, and the incredible work that he has done and led in our communities over the many, many, many decades of his activism and his leadership. And that concludes my report.
Mr. Chair, can I just also ask that if we can adjourn in the name of Nancy Martinez, who is a staff member here. So the anniversary of her passing is coming up or is passed, and I know we worked with Nancy Martinez, and she really loved Halloween. Nancy, she loved Halloween, and I just want to also say that Nancy Martinez.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item, proposed future board business meeting dates.
I do have a question in regards to our January meeting. Is it still the plan are we going to meet in January? I know we moved it last year and didn't have it, and I just think it's important that we would have it still.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. We haven't set the calendar for that yet, so when we do our calendar setting in December, we can
visit that?
We can visit that.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, proposed future agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn in memory of Dr. Jane Goodall, Kent Wong, and Nancy Martinez?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Chen Lao. Do I have a second?
Second.
Without objection, we are adjourned.
Thank you.